Everybody, I hope you are all really, really well. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all who are watching now, who will watch in the future. Who knows when people will be watching? But whenever you're watching, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good evening,
Suzanne,
everybody. Hope you're all well. Lovely to be back.
it is, it is. Suzanne,
It's been
what
a
book are you
while.
reading, sweetheart? I'm reading a book called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by a lady called Caitlin Doherty, who
Oh,
is an undertaker, funeral director in America, and she is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
oh, bless. Oh,
And
Michelle.
Sophie, of course, we will add you to our healing list. And Michelle, we will add you as well, my
Yes.
darling. Our thoughts go out to you all, to anybody who's lost somebody. But we will be doing the healing prayer in a little while, so we'll all send love out then. We'll all send love out then.
Well, I've got to write my healing on a piece of paper because I can't find my healing book because we've decorated.
Well,
And
you
somebody's
see,
put it away and now I can't find it.
well, you
Probably
see,
one of
the
my
thing
boxes.
is, I know where my healing book is. It's down at the caravan.
Oh, dear.
So I'm in the same situation.
Well, I've
I've
just got a
read,
piece of paper.
I've read Five People You Meet in Heaven, and I've read Tuesdays with Maury. I haven't read The Next Person yet, but it is on my list of books to read. And Michelle,
Oh.
I will look that one up as well. Running with Scissors. I love a good book.
Sophie, Jean is at her caravan for a few days with her hubby and her dogs. So I dare say she'll be back on
Yes,
Friday because you're at
Jean.
Jamro's on Wednesday, aren't you, sweetheart?
No, I don't know
Oh,
what's
I thought
happened.
Jean
It's
was.
not. Yeah, I know, but I don't know what's happened with Jamrose. I think it might have been a booking from pre-lockdown, and I think they've started again with the bookings, and it's just got a bit confused.
Oh,
So I don't
oh.
know if I put it in the wrong place. She's put it, but 17th of November we're at Jamrose, but we are at John Street on Sunday.
I
Anyway,
saw
that's notices.
Jean told me I think one of them was gone into hospital or something.
Yes,
One of the admin. Yeah.
Gillian's gone in, but anyway, that's for notices. So,
Yeah.
okay, everybody, it is lovely to. It feels so long since we've all been together, and it can't be
It
really,
does.
but it just
It's about
feels
2 weeks, I think.
wow. But yeah,
But it seems longer.
it does, because I miss you all. I find it really, really odd after 18 months of just doing our online services that when I'm stood in front of a different congregation, it just feels wrong. I feel like I should be with my congregation, and it's a bit like, I want my people. But
Yeah.
I know you're not my people. You don't belong to me. You have free will and everything. But it does feel a bit like I'm betraying you all by not being here. Like last night, I had a lovely service. We had a lovely service, and you had your lovely service at Darley Dale, which is a beautiful church. Beautiful church.
It was
very
fabulous.
Christian church. It's beautiful.
All I will say, Tony, is that all I got, I was talking to a lady, giving her a message, and all I got was spotted dick. And you can imagine the response. And I thought about it. I thought, the pudding. I'm talking about the pudding.
The steamed pudding with the suet base. And yes, naughty people. And then
it was in uproar.
But you always follow that one, Irene, but you can have cream with that. But we are indeed a spiritual family. We are.
Yes, absolutely we are.
But yes.
But no, it was a wonderful service. Lots of laughter, lots of tears as usual. In equal measures.
Oh, happy tears, we don't mind. Happy tears, we don't mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's start the service as we always do with an opening prayer to set the intention for the evening, to invite our spirit family to come forward, followed by the Lord's Prayer, and then I'm sure Pam will have a poem for us.
Yes, a new one wrote yesterday.
Oh, fresh off the pen.
And
Hi, Mandy. Where have you been, my darling? We've missed you.
Hello, Mandy.
Mandy
You've been
Nixon.
a
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome home, darling. Welcome home.
Yes. Okay.
And Tara. Tara
yes,
as well.
Tara's there. Tara's there. Let's all blend our energies together and just join in as we pray to the Divine Spirit and say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the privilege of gathering together in your name tonight. Father, as always, we ask that our loved ones come close to bring forward messages of truth, proof, love and upliftment, and that the guides for Irene and myself step forward to support and inspire us during this short service. Father, we promise that everything we do tonight will be done with truth, love and honesty in our hearts, and that at the end of this evening we will hand back to you everything which is rightfully yours with love, with honour and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Right. I wrote this one yesterday, and I've just called it Keep Me. And it will come obvious why I've called it Keep Me while I'm reading it. Keep me close to you, always in your heart, for the times we have to be apart. I don't want you to feel lost or down. I want to see your smile, not a frown. Keep me near you so we can talk, and always be beside me when I go for a walk. I know you're always with me in some small way as I carry on without you day by day. Keep me by you while I laugh and cry. It has not been so long since you said goodbye. I knew it was your time to go, so walk ahead, but please walk slow. Keep me always in your thoughts and prayers, so I know someone in spirit really cares. You know there is nothing I take you for granted, and each day is long since we parted. Keep me safe and free from harm, always to be blessed with wise words and calm. Readying my place for when I come back home, to walk the spirit land with you, to be no longer alone.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
And isn't that the truth, though? The truth of it is that while ever we hold our loved ones close and keep them in our thoughts, in our hearts, they're still alive. They're still alive,
Absolutely.
and they won't ever leave us. I mean, there was something in this book I'm reading. She doesn't necessarily believe in what we believe in, and she's dealing with death on a daily basis.
Yeah.
She still sees death like we do as just merely the next step.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a way of going on to the next chapter, whatever that be. And
yeah, absolutely.
And she's talking to one of the parents of a really young person who's passed quite tragically, and she says, but while ever you feel her close and hold her close to you, she's never gone. No matter what you believe, that's the truth of it. And we as spiritualists, I mean, I don't fear passing at all.
No, I don't.
Because I know those who've gone home before me will be waiting for me.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'm worried about it because it's unknown. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm not scared of it. I just know that it's the next step, and it's that Facebook meme. It is absolutely spot on. Where there's the hospital bed with obviously the person who's passed,
Yeah.
and the wife and children and everybody crying and being upset. But
Yeah.
then higher up in the picture, there's the spirit land where he's running towards his
Yeah.
parents and they're having a party and they're hugging
Celebrating and
and
yeah.
it's a celebration, it's an arrival, and it's that's what I know is going to happen.
Yeah.
Is my spirit family, my grandma and my granddad, my mum's mum and dad, my nana and my cocker granddad, because he always used to say, "Hey up, cocker."
Oh,
So I
bless.
called him cocker granddad. And the sad thing is, I was only tiny when they passed, so I don't
Yeah.
have lots of memories of them. But I'm looking forward to making those new memories
The
when I
nice
go
thing
home.
about the nice thing about it, though, Tony, is that even though this family members that we didn't know on Earth, they
They
know
know.
us, and
Oh,
they walk with us every day. And I get a lot of people, as do you and Jean, that say, "Yeah, but they don't know me," but they do know
they
you
do,
because they
and
watch you grow and they with you
yeah,
from and you see what you're getting up to, and they don't understand the technology some of the time, but they
no, but they,
understand what the
yeah,
spirit world is and what the earth
it's
plane is.
it's my nana that gave me the push to do this. It was my nana that spoke to Jean and said, "Tell him we're ready if he's ready to work. If
Yeah.
not, we'll leave him be, but we want to work with him." And I just
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, go on then." So my
Yeah.
nana knew I was ready. She knew I
Absolutely.
was ready.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sophie, leaving Ben and potentially Michael, and that would break my heart. But the
Yes.
actual process of it, I'm not scared of. I know when my time's ready, they'll come for me. And that's fine. I won't want to leave Ben and my mum and dad if they're still around, but it's not something now I'm scared of. That doesn't mean I can't look at a funeral cortege and be saddened when I see
Yes.
the
Feel for
families,
those people.
and you
Yes.
feel for those who are left behind,
Absolutely, you do.
and I also feel for the person who's gone home because they they will be mourning the fact that they can't be physically there with their
Yeah.
families anymore. So I feel for them. And I was coming into our street the other week and a funeral was going up. So I waited. I didn't try and cut in front of them. I just waited and I bowed my head as the hearse passed and the undertaker was walking in
Yeah.
front of, and he doffed his hat for me and went, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, because I saw a medium actually at Darlydale, and his philosophy was we as spiritualists should be telling these people, why are you crying? Because your loved one's gone home and they are happy and they shouldn't be grieving. And no, 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 no. I would never say to somebody,
No.
don't grieve. I would say,
No.
grieve in
Absolutely
your
not.
way. Do what feels
I
right
mean,
for you. If you want to keep their clothes in the wardrobe for 20 years, you keep their clothes in the wardrobe for 20 years. If you want to
yeah.
lie their pajamas on the bed beside you of an evening, you do that. Do what
Yeah.
makes you
Whatever.
feel comfortable and helps you through this
Absolutely.
process because it's heartbreaking. It's a pain like you would never know. I would rather have my leg chopped off than to lose than to go through the pain I did when I lost Josh and my granddad and my
Yeah.
grandma.
Yeah. I mean, we all know
because
it's going to happen.
we
We're
do,
not here
we
forever.
do.
And we all know that we're going to go sometimes. I mean, this came up last night in my philosophy when Darley Dale.
Isn't it strange
And
then they brought it back for you?
it is. And I think it's needed because death is something that not a lot of people will talk about, but for us, it's natural. And for like Michelle Louise Thomas and a few of the others have said that it's the unknown that they're scared of.
Yeah.
I go astral traveling. And believe me, when I go astral traveling, I have been to Spirit Land, and there is absolutely nothing at all to be scared of. It is the most beautiful, calm place that you could ever be. You're with your family, you're with your animals, you go over the Rainbow Bridge, your family comes to meet you, and unless of course you don't want them to, and that's a different story. But
Yes.
it's such a beautiful place, and when I go astral traveling, they've taken me over to the spirit world, and I've seen it, and there is absolutely nothing at all to be scared of. It is a beautiful, beautiful, quiet, calm place. You've met your spirit guide, Michelle. How wonderful! There's not
That's
everybody that
lovely.
does.
No, I know who I have a core group, 3, maybe 4 people who work with me all the time. And then new ones come just when I'm ready to do something different. I just highlighted this because I absolutely agree with you, Suzanne.
Yeah, I do.
You don't ever stop grieving. You just learn to live with the hole that's left in
Absolutely.
your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just becomes bearable. So
Yes.
yeah, I completely agree with that. Hi Lisa, my sister's on.
Hi, Lisa. Hi,
Long time
Lisa.
no chat, darling. I've not talked to you in ages and ages and ages. Oh, bless. Sophie Haig lives opposite a funeral home.
Yeah, I'm just reading it. Wow, that
Yeah,
would be
glass
wonderful,
carriages.
Sophie. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
But
but
they
that's
say,
the point that Caitlin tries to make in her books, that we can not take charge of death, but take charge of the process of dying and death. And
oh, Shane, have you read Shane's post? Can I ask for a prayer to guide my husband's and my friend to spirit tomorrow as she takes her final journey, and
oh, of
healing prayers
course,
for myself?
we're
Of
going to
course,
do
Shane.
the healing moment once I've stopped waffling. It's my fault. I started babbling as I do, and we
No,
get on
it's
with
all
things.
right.
But
And
no,
Cheryl,
Caitlin
I,
Doherty says she has a group called the Order of the Good Death,
yeah,
and she believes in the old-fashioned way of doing it, where you have the body at home and you wash it, and they bring the casket to you or the coffin, and you
yeah,
put them into the coffin yourself, and you can take all the time you want with the loved one that's gone over to the
yeah,
spirit world. And yeah, it's something that's been going around in my mind, and I'm thinking, yeah, that I believe in that, and I think that's right, because death is institutionalized, and Michael's dad was removed straight away from the house and everything, and I just felt it was a bit like it was then taken out of our control and given to the undertaker and the funeral
yeah.
director to deal with. And yeah, it's just something, like I said, that's playing around in my head, so I thought I would mention it. You bury them within 3 nights. Where are you, Michelle? Where are you? Because that's quick. My mum's friend, her husband passed, and he'd had one of these direct cremations where,
Oh, Northern
oh,
Ireland. She's
you
in
got
Northern
granny
Ireland.
ready. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. Have time to be with your granny and get her
yeah,
ready, and you are part of that process, which I think in some ways heal
yeah,
or start
yeah.
the healing process.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was saying my friend, my mum's friend, when her husband passed, he had one of these direct funeral cremation things. So they came, took him away, and returned a tub of ashes, an urn of ashes, 2 days later. So it was all done. There was no funeral. There was no nothing. And
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, that and then the families can do what they want to do. Anyway, there you go. Let's get on with the healing process, which is what we were here to do.
Absolutely.
And oh, you washed your husband, Suzanne. You washed and looked
Yes.
after him when he died. You
Yeah.
see, that's what
I did that with my
Caitlin's.
mum.
Yeah, and that's what she's saying. It's your choice. We should be given back the choice. Oh, apparently my nan was at home
For
for
days.
days.
Good evening, Daddy Alan.
Hello, Dad. So yeah, it's just something I want to talk about, and something I'm starting to feel a bit. That's what we should do. That's right. Yes, and there we are. Anyway, back to the healing. We are going to go into the healing moment now. I will say the healing prayer, and then we will have the candles. So please send out your thoughts to those you know who are sick and suffering. It can be a physical thing, it can be for some emotional support and upliftment, it can be just that there's a lot of rubbish going on in their lives and they just need that support. Anything you know people need a prayer for, please send out your thoughts now. There's been names and requests going up in the comments. So if you've
Yeah.
seen them, please hold them in your thoughts as well. It's not tricky. It's just like praying. You just ask for support for and then list names. It's really easy to do. It really helps. We never ever claim that it's a cure. Never stop taking any regular medication. Just it gives you support and it gives you upliftment.
And
So,
just before you say anything more, Tony, could we also ask you to keep our Jean in your thoughts as well,
and Dorothy,
and Dorothy and her Auntie Winnie as well. Bless
yes,
her.
yes, bless. So yes, please hold some thoughts for our Jean and family. So we blend together, please, friends. Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto thee all those in our and all healing books, that it may please thee to heal them, be they suffering in mind, body, or spirit. We ask for all those we know, those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Jean's okay. It's just our sister's really, really poorly in hospital, and our auntie is on end of life care at home. So we're just asking for some prayers. Can we also pray for Sarah Jameson, please? And our Julie, because Julie
And
Dallison asked for some help as well.
and Mandy Nixon's just put on. Could we put her in the healing book as well?
Of course we
So
can.
I
And
will.
could I also ask for my dad and my
You
mum
can.
and my sister in the family, because yeah, my dad's not well, and we just need some thoughts sent into him as well, please.
I'll write these all in my healing book when I find it. Hopefully,
When I get home, when I get to the caravan and I get mine back, I'll go through and I'll put everybody in and get. But the healing's been sent. The intention's been sent out. So, and for Sophie, because she obviously is needing some support at the minute with little one who's not playing nicely. And
oh dear.
Adele as well. Adele Hill, because she's coming to the end of her pregnancy as well, and
oh bless.
she was scanned and told it was a boy. And at the beginning of her pregnancy, and last week she went and had another scan, and the midwife that was scanning, I said, "It says it's a boy here," and Adele says, "Yes." She says, well, "I can't see any male genitals there."
Oh dear.
So she's having a girl.
Oh, she could be having one of each.
She could.
Yes, she could.
Oh dear. Well, thank you, everybody. The conversation going on in the chat is brilliant about the good death and the funeral and everything. I think it's lovely, and I've got this funny feeling that we'll be revisiting this chat quite a few times in the future.
Absolutely.
So
well,
if anybody is interested, go on to YouTube and Google Caitlin Doherty, and the channel's called Ask a Mortician, and she's got some fabulous videos and conversations she's done, and she's just really inspiring. So, Paul,
Hi, Paul.
Good
evening, darling.
Been talking to somebody on Messenger who was saying, has Paul been on, because I'm missing him. So, is he a look? Yeah, Sophie, she's lovely, isn't she? And she's so down to earth. The channel's called Ask a Mortician on YouTube, Suzanne. She's just missed it. And the lady's called Caitlin Doherty, and I will put it in the chat. And I think it's... I can't think how you spell her surname, but I will find it.
Michelle says, I love mortician and morgue documentaries. Have you seen how they do it in Australia?
Oh, I will look for that. I'll look for that. Anyway, so let's see what Spirit wants us to do tonight, because they're feeling very playful at the minute with me.
Right, okay, well...
So I don't know what they want me to do.
Well, I've just been told that we've got to carry on chatting.
Okay, that's fine.
But we'll see where it goes. I mean, if you have any questions, please ask.
If you want to carry on the conversation we were having, we'll...
Yes, we can carry on with that. It doesn't have to be mediumship. We're here to help, and we're here to, I wouldn't say advise, but point you in the right direction.
No, exactly. I would never say that we are the font of all knowledge, but we can certainly help where we can.
Yes, Julie, of course you can ask something. What would you like to know, sweetheart? If we can help, we will do, darling.
Yes, of course we will.
I mean, I was talking last night on my when I was doing my philosophy, and we're gone about this subject, and I heard somebody very loudly whisper, "Yeah, but when somebody's gone, they're gone, and you don't have to cry for them all the time." And I just happened to hear, so I just went straight into it, and I said, grief is a very, very personal thing. It doesn't matter if it takes you 6 months, 1 year, or 21 years. I said, some people never get over a passing of a loved one. I said, and it's how you handle it, and how you want to handle it, and how you want to remember them.
Yeah.
There is no time on grief.
I've just put the link to Caitlin's channel into the chats, and I've pinned it, so it'll be right at the bottom of the chats if you want to
Okay.
go on there. Julia, you can ask your question. Of course you can, sweetheart. But yeah, it's true, Paul. The pain never goes away. I
It
mean,
stays with time.
my granddad and my grandma passed quite a few years ago now, and it still feels like yesterday.
Yeah, same.
And Joshua, it would be 25, 26 years ago, and I've still got that hole. I've still
Oh,
got that hole.
Tracy, thank you, sweetheart. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm so sorry I didn't get to talk to you, sweetheart. I I think I was in a bit of a world of my own last night, but you're right. It was a beautiful service. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and I'm waiting to come back again when you'll have me.
Yes, Julie, white feathers are spirit, and if a feather falls at your feet when you're out, then yeah, it means the same thing. It means the
Yes,
same thing. So yeah, it means they're around you. But you know, Julie, that spirit are always around you anyway. You don't really need the signs. It's just nice sometimes that you think, yeah, they're sending me little messages.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
you know that spirit are always just a thought away from you, and that they're always there. Oh, bless you, Sophie. Yeah.
Yes,
I
but the
hate the
thing
fact
is,
that.
Sophie, it might be that you did have a little falling out, but she knows because she's been to you, hasn't she? And she's spoken to Dad as well, and she knows that whatever you say when you go to spirit, it's all forgotten, and it's just not. It's just not the same, is it? She's forgiven you, sweetheart. I'm sure she
Of course
has.
she has. Of course she has. And it's spirit are beyond the earthly things when they go over anyway. So it
Yeah.
doesn't bother her, and it's past. It's past. Um,
Oh, hi, Jean. Oh, Jean's on.
is
Hello,
she?
darling.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there she is.
Hope you're well, sweetheart. Hope you're well. We're having a chat tonight.
Yeah, spirit just seemed to want us to keep waffling, so I'll just keep waffling.
Oh, Jean's got a new name. She's now Gino.
Gino. Oh, Gino. You've seen
Bless.
loads since your Neil passed. Oh, Julie, that's wonderful.
It
Wonderful.
proves that he's around you, sweetheart. It's his way of
Yeah.
saying that he's around you.
Yeah,
And when
that's
he's
his
ready,
way.
he'll come and talk to you, darling. You
Of
know
course he
that.
will.
You're
Of course he will.
spiritually aware, so you know how it works.
Yeah. You were shocked how you felt when your mum passed in 2017, brought up as a spiritualist. You can't help how you're feeling, but it's the physical contact that you miss.
Yeah.
And that's what we grieve. We grieve for the fact that we can't see the person. You can't give them a cuddle. You can't,
Yeah.
that's what we miss.
That's what gets me with. I mean, my mum and dad have both been in spirit 21 years. I lost them 7 weeks apart, and I could understand. My dad was quick and that, but I just miss them every day. I still want to pick up the phone and ring her, and I
Yeah.
just want to say, "Hello, Mum. I love you. Are you okay? Can I do anything for you?"
Yeah.
And of course, now she's spirit side with my dad, and it's just. I mean, I know that they come and see me and I know that they're around me, but it's not the same with physically having her here and giving her a cuddle and making her a cup of tea.
No, exactly.
So,
Michelle, we can't comment on that. But
oh my goodness.
somebody up above said the best advice they were given was one day at a time. I would actually say 1 hour at a time.
Yeah.
Take it
things
hour
change
by
so
hour.
quickly. Yeah.
Because you can hear a song on the radio and it can take you back. So within a minute, your life
Yeah,
can change. So it's
yeah.
take it hour by hour and just see how you feel. And like we always say to everybody, we are here if you need to talk to us. Horus, who are you
Oh,
growling at? Who are
I
you
thought it was
growling
your
at?
tummy rumbling, Tony. Bless you. Oh, hello, darling Horace. Hello,
Rusty,
sweetie
Rusty
pie.
Rose. Rusty, Rusty Rose.
Oh,
There he is. He's decided to come and sit on the chair and he's growling at something on the table. It
it's
might
puppies.
be I got a little Jack Russell type dog yesterday for somebody and he just appeared here in front of me on the monitor
Oh,
and the dogs didn't bark, so maybe it's still around and they're just Horus is sensing it. We'll mention it at the end, Jean, darling. Of
oh,
course we
yes.
will.
Yes, we will. We'll mention it at the end,
We
sweetheart. I'm
will.
looking
We will.
forward to that.
So am I actually.
I'm here with usually about
Oh,
8 in the evening. I do. Oh, do you know my dog does that? He was sat on the settee with Ed the other day, and he just cooked. We've just been decorating. That's why my cabinet's not full. I put them all away, and he just looked at the door that you can see behind that one,
yeah.
that one, and he
Oh,
just
the
looked
hall
at that.
door.
Yeah, the whole door, and he just looked in that corner, and he just sat there with his ears up. You know, giving them little noises that you do.
Mm.
And so I knew that somebody was there. And then the door opened and somebody came in. I said, well, you're welcome, but don't cause any havoc.
No, exactly, exactly. Yes, I did a meeting with Claire this afternoon, and at times I couldn't hear what Claire was saying because her beagle Sam lies on the chair with his legs up in the air like this, with his bits all on show to the world shamelessly, and snores so loud that he drowns her out.
Oh, bless.
Hello, Daisy. I can
Oh,
see Daisy. Amanda, don't let anybody tell you that an animal passing is no less
excuse me.
than a person's passing because
Sometimes it's worse. Like
it
she
is.
said, it
They
is
are part
harder.
of your family and it can affect you. I was in tears the other day because I was at the caravan site and I was talking to somebody and they asked about Tia because
Oh,
I would
bless.
walk past their caravan with Tia
Yeah,
and she came out to give the Beddingtons a cuddle
yeah.
and it set me off. And
It
it's
does.
a year since she's gone.
Is it a year already? Oh,
It'll
my
be a
goodness.
year in end of this month. It'll be a year.
Oh, bless.
But
Well,
she,
on a nicer note, my son has just got a little puppy Stappy.
yes, Patch,
Yes, and
yeah,
I've told him that he needs to come here and be a playmate for Dexter, but he won't let me
yeah,
have him. He won't let
yeah.
me have him.
Oh, Cheryl, I'm with you
Yes.
there. I'm with you
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
I,
Absolutely. I'm with you there
yeah,
as well. I fully agree with that because if you didn't, you'd be indoors all the time and you'd just vegetate. I know that's the
mm,
wrong word to use, but you wouldn't want to go out
yeah,
anywhere. But if you've got a dog, you have to go out because they have to have their walk and go to the toilet and
yeah.
stuff. So, you know,
I completely agree with you, and it's unconditional love
oh
of
yes.
a pet.
Yes,
Unconditional
absolutely.
love. Um, it's
Oh,
just so. Lisa Jane, yes, we can see you.
we can. And
Yeah.
I have a beautiful black cat, Michelle, called Tom. His full name is Major Tom because he's a bit snobby, so I called him Major Tom. But I have a beautiful black cat. I love black cats. So, you know,
We've not, this is the longest we've ever not had a cat. At one point, we had three, but I would have a Maine Coon cat in a heartbeat. But we go up and down to the caravan all the time, and it's just not fair because you can't transport a cat up and down and up and down and up and down. So Oh, Michelle's black cat is called Monkey.
Oh, bless. Well, when I got him from the cat's cat sanctuary, he was called Jason, and I didn't like that at all. So I renamed him Tom.
Your cat's definitely not a Jason.
No, definitely not. And
No.
Cheryl says she has a black called Booby.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Okay.
I have a biscuit barrel that I was bought by an ex-boss of mine, which I call Booby.
Okay.
I will show you these. It's shaped like a cupcake.
Yeah.
And in John Lewis in Sheffield, they were stood out. There was a teapot and cups and these biscuit barrels and sugar and tea, coffee and sugar jars.
Yeah.
And as you look down onto the table, Irene, that is what you saw. Now you can imagine rows of these.
Yeah.
Well, me and my boss, that was the reaction we had because we didn't notice them. And we looked down and just went, oh, good Lord, that's indecent. You have the same one.
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Well, there you go. Michelle says, Emma, Monkey, Leon and George, my 4 cats, 2 pure white, 1 black and the tabby mother. Oh, how wonderful. I love black cats. I think they are absolutely stunning.
Our friend Vicky, Michael and my friend Vicky has black cats. Suzanne, I know, I've seen it. I'm not going to put that on screen.
Oh, dearie me.
But yes, they are. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I loved it. So as a leaving present, she bought myself and the other girl that worked for her one each.
Oh, well, it's the thought that counts, darling.
Suzanne, Suzanne, I've not done that in a lot of years, darling. But there we go. Anyway,
we won't talk about that.
No.
Do you know what?
Go on.
Do you know what I love more than anything? I love it when our Jean sits there and tells us about Cohen's antics.
Yeah. He's upset today, though.
Oh, is he? Why? Why is he upset?
Because he's suffering with hay fever.
Oh.
And, of course, he's snuffling and coughing. And Amy's done a test.
Yeah.
And it's negative, but school still say they won't let him go into school.
Oh, that's not
So he was really upset that he couldn't go to school. He asked Amy yesterday. Amy messaged me and said, Cohen got up this morning and said, but is it today I go to school, Mummy? Do I need to get my uniform on?
Oh, bless. And he can't because he's got hay fever.
Well, and yesterday was Sunday. So she said, no, in the morning. And
then he couldn't go. Oh, bless. We'll send some healing for him, Jean. We will.
Yeah.
He had a black cat called Cyril. Love to get in the shower.
I wouldn't want. I've got. This is going to sound really psychotic, but my mum understands, and my dad will back me up on this. We can't do wet hair, me and my mum.
You can't do wet
hair? No, I can't put clean plug holes or anything out. No.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
So a cat getting in the shower with me would just be too much. Too much to bear.
Oh, Michelle says Snowball gets in the car with her. Oh, bless. So she goes for a ride. Bless her.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Dear. Oh, 7 to 9 weeks rather than 12.
Oh.
Well, of course.
Oh, Cohen has asked if I am at Caravan with Uncle Tony. Yes.
You're in our healing book, Sophie, and little
Yeah.
one's in our healing book as well. So we will send all the love out we can. We will.
And as long as
Um,
you're both safe and happy, that's all that
yeah,
matters,
of
sweetheart.
course, of
That's all that
course.
matters.
Has anybody else got anything they want to talk about today or ask about? Or we've got about, I reckon, about 10-15 minutes. Come on, Ross.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Sophie. As long as he's healthy and as long as you're healthy as
Yeah.
well, it's not only the baby, it's you as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
it's
course, of
it's
course.
lovely to have a new baby, but you also need to look after yourself or get the doctors to look after you too. Oh, you're very welcome, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Message,
We're here again on
message next time
Friday.
you're on. We're here on
Yeah.
Friday. You're putting the middle one to bed. God bless you. God bless you.
God bless, darling. God bless you. Oh dear.
But I've just noticed actually that Tracy was on, wasn't she, from Darley Dale?
She
And
was, yes.
I was
She was sat in the
I
front row last
noticed,
night.
yeah, because I've got Darley Dale in and I can't think when it is. Oh, it's the 3rd of October.
Oh,
You're in
right.
Denton and I'm in Darley Dale.
I'm supposed to be in Denton. It's Manchester, but whether, again, she hasn't contacted me.
And then
So,
you've got Charnwood the day after.
yes. Yes.
Leicester. So,
Yeah.
oh, your mother-in-law died and you're not coping very well, Lisa Jane. Bless you.
Oh.
Bless you.
Oh, dear.
It's not easy. It's really not.
No, it isn't.
Sophie, if you need anything, you know where we are.
Yeah,
you know where we are.
absolutely.
Same with Lisa Jane. Well, it's same with everybody. You know where we are.
Yeah. If you want a
if you need
private chat,
anything,
yeah.
just message us.
Yeah, we can chat. We can help you along the way. We can answer questions, and you can have one of us, two of us, or all three of us. Can I get
Shane, you know where I am, and you know I've got a bag full of my nail stuff in the sitting room. So yes, of course, I've got to tidy mine up tomorrow as well. So I will have it out. And is there anything about being a medium that scares you, message-wise? No, because we know Spirit won't tell us anything untoward, and we know, well, I know, and I'm sure I speak for Jean and Irene when I say that I know that Spirit will have equipped us with everything we need to deliver a message.
Yeah.
And nobody should ever leave a spiritual service, reading, one-to-one, whatever, feeling worse than they did when they sat down.
Absolutely.
Nobody should. If you do, the medium isn't the medium that you needed to go and see. So, yeah. Irene?
Again, it's just one of those things, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people say to me, well, you're a spiritualist medium, so you should know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. But it's the one thing that we never know.
No.
And I always look at it this way. Grieving is a process, and it's something that, unless you've experienced it, it's something that you really don't need to know about, but it can be very painful, but it can also be, especially if your loved one has had, say, an illness that has gone on and they're in a lot of pain. For them, it's a relief to get out of the pain. It's hard for you, but a lot of people understand that, Tony, I think.
Yeah, they do.
It is really hard. And it's just a case of dealing, as Tony said, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. It does ease, but I have never got over the loss of, especially my mum. I was close to my dad as well, but my mum was my best friend. And it's one of those things. And I do talk to her a lot. And I think Tony's brought her through a couple of times for me, So, and I know that she's there. So why do mediums give bad news in readings or warnings? I can't speak for anybody else, sweetheart, but I'll just say that I don't. If I am given something that's bad or not right as I see it, I will just say, well, I'm not saying that, or I can't say that for whatever reason, because you're not there to give bad news. But actually, I don't know about Tony and Jean, but myself, I don't really get a lot of bad messages. I get a lot of colourful messages with colourful language. Yes, I agree with what Jean said. Should give you any bad news, as your loved ones wouldn't tell you. That is quite true, which is what I've just said. They wouldn't tell you anyway. No. It's not the sort of thing that you do. Anything to add, Tony?
No, just like you said, you wouldn't, because I know my guides would never give me anything that I can't pass on.
Yeah,
I've the only thing I won't pass on is when they use really colourful language in a place where I'm not. It's not appropriate to give it, so I will switch it around a bit. But they wouldn't give me anything untoward.
No,
and I'm aware of the situation that Paul's talking about, and it's not something I want to discuss on here, but there are different ways of dealing with things, and some people just haven't quite got not the skills, that's the wrong word. Some people don't know aren't as empathetic and don't know how to deliver certain messages. That's that one. Gail, welcome. Gail's new to our channel, Gail Amos.
Oh, welcome, Gail. Lovely to have you here with us.
I hope if I read this right, it's our first time joining, and lovely to watch us both. It's been tough as the kids have gone back to school, and it's the second year our husband will have missed. I take it from that your husband's gone home to the spirit world, Gail. If that's the case, then I will include you in our prayer list as well. And
absolutely.
We've said, if you've been on from the beginning, you know what we've said. You learn to live with the hole in your life, and we're always here for you if you need to talk, sweetheart. Always here if you need to talk.
We are a good group, Gail. Everybody supports everybody on this in our congregation. And if you need anything at all, you can talk to one of us, all of us. It's normally our other lovely friend, Jean. She's normally here with us. She's commenting tonight because she's at her caravan. But there's three of us, and you can have one of us or all of us. And whatever you say to us in private, it stays with us.
Yeah,
we're here for support, and everybody else will support you on here as well. We are a wonderful group, an absolutely wonderful group. And can I just say, I was talking to another lady earlier on today who's also lost her husband, and her husband is spirit side. And what she's done is she's actually given her little ones crystals, and one of her children actually talks to her dad, and she's giving us some crystals to go with, and she talks to him about the father all the time and say, well, what would your dad do? And she's just found out that her husband used to swim, and now this little girl wants to do swimming as well. So she's got some of his traits, and she asks him questions. How do you do this, Daddy? And how do you do that? Depending on the age of your children, because obviously if they're a little bit too young, sometimes, it can be a bit overwhelming for them. I hope that helps, sweetheart. But we're always here for a chat if you need us.
We are. Find us on Messenger, and we will both, all three of us, chat to you.
It is. Oh, yeah. I know. Right. It's Gail who I was talking to earlier. Hi, Gail.
Oh,
I
there you
didn't
go.
know.
You see.
Thank you, Stace. I didn't know. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes. Nice to
Yeah.
see you on anyway. You're always welcome.
Shane, that could be somebody who lived in the house before you, or one of your family who was diabetic.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be. Um, there we go. See, hi, Gail. Hi, Gail. Lovely group, so supportive. We are. We try.
Yeah.
We are.
Well, I've
So,
met Gail through Stacey on SPTV. I popped on this morning because there was a lady doing things with crystal balls, and you might know I ended up having a chat afterwards about crystals and stuff like that, as you do.
I
Just
like that,
like
Suzanne.
to,
I should put that
oh,
on
that's
the
brilliant. Yeah,
tagline.
I like that. Oh,
But
are
we're
we
all
all?
sweet.
Oh,
Oh,
that. Oh, bless.
I
I
want
wonder.
to know.
I
I
wonder
want
what
to
she's
know
after.
who's nutty, who's fruity, who's smooth. I'm certainly not smooth. I'm very hairy. But yeah, we are. Um, hmm. Do mediums get premonitions of what's going to happen to a person in the future? You see, I wouldn't say premonition. I would say sometimes what I get personally is spirit
Hi,
will
Amanda.
spirit will tell us all of the paths that a person's got before them.
Yeah,
And if you make this decision, you can go that way. If you go this way, you can go that way. But we have free will here, Earth side of life. So all of the decisions are ours to make. Spirit might say, this might be a good option or that might be a good option. But at the end of the day, it's our choice. So that's what I get. I wouldn't say that I would get, oh, this person's going to fall seriously ill and do this, this, and this. That's not what I get. What I would get is this person's unwell and perhaps they should see a doctor, or,
yeah.
but it's not a premonition as such. So that's how I see it. But I don't know if that's your experience, Irene, but
Yeah, it is basically. I mean, occasionally I have had a feeling of deja vu, and when you almost know that something's going to happen, but it's just sort of one of those things that I suppose, really, Tony, it's something we don't really talk about premonitions a lot, do we? Because
no, no.
they're those sort of things that one day it could be okay, the next day it might not be as nice, and
Yeah, yeah.
spirit don't give it to us in that way. They give it to us in the form of mediumship, where we can actually talk to your spirit family and give them the message straight away, unless it's something where, like, the language is a little bit fruity, so we tend not to do that, don't we, Tony?
We
And
never do fruit language.
I'm here after being on SP. Oh, bless you, Julie. Thank you, darling. Are you stalking me? Not that
You
I
see,
mind. It's you're all, and Terry, you're all welcome. All of you, very, very welcome. Thank you.
what I would say is, I know a lot of people who work psychically,
Yeah,
and if you're working psychically, then that comes out a little bit more
yeah,
than working with mediumship, reaching to spirit and giving messages direct from spirit. If you work with cards and things, then there's a little bit more of that comes through about future, what will happen or what
yeah,
could happen, not what would happen. That's wrong. I do apologize. What could happen if certain
yeah,
decisions are made.
yeah.
That can
Absolutely.
come through a lot more psychically, because it's usually reading more from the energy from the person.
Yes.
So that can come through a lot more than working direct spiritual mediumship. There's nothing wrong with either.
No.
There's a people here from Spiritual Psychic TV, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I get, is that
Yeah.
working from a psychic link, you get a lot more of, well, if you make this decision, that could happen. If you make that decision, that could happen. Where that doesn't tend to come through from a spiritual link, because spirit want to talk about their life and their experiences. And
Yeah.
that's what Jean always drilled into me. Prove your link. Beyond a
Yes.
shadow of a doubt, prove that you are working
Absolutely.
with that person from spirit.
Yeah.
Give the message and get out. So, and the message tends to be more of, I'm aware of what's going on in your life and we're here to support you, and
Yeah.
describing this situation or what influences are bearing down on that person at that time in their life. Sometimes if I'm doing a one-to-one sit-in, I get both. So I get the spirit coming through, and then I get the psychic link to say, but these are the decisions that are before you and these are possible outcomes. So you get a double whammy if you get a one-to-one sit-in. But on here, it's harder to do because you haven't got the energy from the person. So
That's right.
yeah.
It's nice doing this, and we love doing it. We really do. When you're standing in front of a congregation in a church or a centre, you can feel the energy, you can feel the power of spirits, because you've only got to sort of go like that, put your hands up. I mean, my Ed comes with me, and he will sit at the back of the hall or church, and he will have his hands like that all the way through the service, sending out healing. And it's lovely when that can happen, and it's amazing how much energy gets in that room, and the energy builds and builds and builds. And then Jean always says in her closing prayer when she's closing, send all the energy out around the world and to all those that need it. So,
Yeah.
it's just wonderful. And it
Well,
doesn't matter what area you work in, we all work for the same common good, whether it be spiritual medium, psychic medium, healing, or whatever. Do you agree, Tony?
I do. And sorry, I'm a bit distracted because I've got Claire down backstage
All
who's
right.
watching comments and things. You know, the situation we talked about the other day?
Yes. Yeah.
And a partner is stood, from what I can see, with his shirt off, and he will die in a minute if I lift that screen up. And he's been waving to me, so I was waving back.
All right.
No,
Okay.
I did want to make a point with what you've just been saying, though, Irene, that
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do anything, but I have seen several people who are advertising themselves as mediums
Yes.
on rostrum,
Yes.
working completely and utterly psychically.
Yes.
And with no disrespect to anybody who works psychically, if you advertise yourself as a medium, make your connection to spirit.
Absolutely.
Don't
Absolutely.
go on a rostrum in a church where people are wanting to connect to their loved ones and work on a psychic link. Prove you are connected to spirit and prove you are talking to that person's loved one in spirit. And
I
I
totally
just need
agree.
to get that off my chest. I am sorry, but
No,
it's
no,
happening, and
it's right
it's
what you're saying.
wrong. It's wrong. People go into a spiritualist church to connect with loved ones. And it's so frustrating when you stand there or you're sitting there in the congregation and thinking, but all you've said is, I've got mum, and she is saying X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So tell me about mum then. I mean, my mum's here on earth plane, so please don't tell me my mum's in spirit, because she's not. She's here. But you know what I'm saying? Grandma, if somebody said to me, I've got your grandma, Tony, and she's talking about your ill health and that you're feeling your back and you've got a chest complaint. Hang on, no, you've said you've got my grandma. Tell me about my grandma.
Yeah.
Tell me about my grandma.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's frustrating. I would go and see a psychic. I would go and see a psychic in a heartbeat. If I was struggling with a decision and I didn't know what to do, I would go and see somebody who works psychically. So there's a place for everything. And
There is.
we can all say that we are spiritual because people who work on a psychic link are working spiritually. They're tapping into your spirit, your energy. And there's absolutely a place for that. And there's a place for what we do. Absolutely there is. And crystal healing, it's wonderful and it works, but it hasn't got much to do with the spirit world. In that sense, it's a spiritual device to tap into the energy to help you to heal.
Yeah.
Tarot cards work on that psychic link because you get the energy from the person who's handled them. And they're wonderful. And my guides used to use the tarot card as a way to get me to connect up to spirit because I was finding it difficult. So they worked with cards with me. And then images would start to appear in the cards for me. And that's how I developed my link.
Yeah.
So I'm not disrespecting, or I'm not meaning to disrespect anybody in how they work, other than if you're going to claim to be a spiritual medium, prove your link.
Yes.
Prove your link.
Well, you know that.
There we are.
You know.
Sorry.
That, I mean,
sorry.
No,
Stace,
you see,
that's absolutely wonderful. Please continue to do that because that's developing your link to spirit. And there will come a time when you can say, I don't need those cards. I can link straight to spirit and get that information. But when you're working with them, Stace, ask the person you're linking with to tell you about them. And then give that to the person you're sitting with. And that's starting to prove your link, and it'll improve that link all the time you do it. And that's wonderful. And I'm so proud of the way you've developed. I really am. From when you first sat down in All Spirits Together to where you are now, and I've seen you working, it's wonderful. But keep working on that link to spirit. Please keep working on that link. Nothing wrong if you still want to say, I want to work on that psychic link. Absolutely fabulous. But it's great that you're wanting to take that next step and to start working back with your link to spirit. I think it's wonderful. And yes, if I'm sitting with somebody and something comes to me, I will say, this isn't coming from your mom, your grandma, Uncle John, whoever. This is a psychic link and it's just something that's coming to me. You must have a problem with this area of your body, or, and that's where it's coming from. It's coming from on a psychic link. It's very honest. It's very important to be honest and to say where it's coming from. Because if Auntie Jean up in spirit, not you, Auntie Jean, not our Auntie Jean, Auntie Jean up, somebody must have an Auntie Jean up in spirit because she's just said a name to me.
The thing is, as you know, Stace and I work in different ways. Even though she's my daughter, we work in totally different ways. But I respect what she does, and she respects what I do. I mean, I'm like you and Jean, Tony. I work spiritually, and I like to get a link, and I'm like Jean. I like to describe who I'm seeing, and I always go for anybody who wants to try and go from a psychic medium to a spiritual medium, if you the only way that I could go on the way Pat described it, start at the bottom, start with the shoes, describe the legs. Have you got a lady or a gentleman, and slowly come up the body, and
Yeah,
you can, and you know,
yeah,
you can start doing it, and it
yeah.
won't happen overnight. It takes
No, no,
time,
no, no, no. It
but
does. It does.
it's
And
all good. It's
it
all
might
good.
be that if you're not working clairvoyantly, so you can't see the person's shoes and the legs, you might get the sense of
Yep,
how they feel. Like
absolutely.
I always say, they give me their energy, their personality. So I
Yep,
think, okay, this is a warm feeling. So this is a loving person that's coming through, very
yep,
family orientated person,
yep.
or they're a bit standoffish because I'm not getting a lot of their energy. I'm just getting little bits that they want to give me. This is how I get my link, Angela. And I can feel a masculine energy because it feels a certain way. And a feminine energy feels more gentle to me, and it's
Mm.
how they come in. So that's how I know. I'll say I've got a gentleman because I can feel that energy. But Stace, like your mum was saying, it's wonderful. And if they're starting to work with you, that you're starting to get messages through the cards, like I said, just ask them, show me a little bit about yourself in the card, and you might get an image of what they look like.
Mm.
Because the cards I use are the Doreen Virtue Angel cards, and it might be that they'll show me a masculine card, a card with a gentleman on it, or a male angel. And so, right, so you
Oh,
were a
night,
man.
night, Jean.
So,
God bless,
night,
darling.
Jane. Um, so that's how they might work with you. So just keep developing it. It's wonderful. Angela, we can get spirit that have just drawn the last breath, or I can get spirit, or we can get spirit that have died 100, 200, 300 years ago. They can all come through. It's just they come through when they're ready to come through. The lady at South Road, her dad had been passed 20 plus years and he'd never come through. But he came through because she and actually she knew he was going to come through to me, because she said, "You're when I was talking in the kitchen, and the lady heard me talking and heard my personality and the way my sense of humour, she thought my dad will love you," and he came through.
So
So
sometimes I
it's
think
wait for the right person, the right medium, or they wait for you to be ready to hear from them. It could. Sorry, go on.
it's all right, darling. I was just about to say sometimes it's I I dare say Tony and Sheen get the same thing. We get asked, why has my loved one not come through? There could be many reasons. The most common one is because they only want a lot of people, spirit people will only come through with certain mediums,
Mm,
and if that medium isn't right, they won't come through. And then you
mm,
get others that will come through, but straight away. I mean, I was doing a service on Tuesday. Sorry, last Friday. You know where I was, Tony.
mm,
I was doing the service last Friday, and I went to a lady and I said, "I've got mum here," and straight away she said, "I don't want to know, not interested. I don't want to talk to mum." So, and luckily enough, I had another family member, spirit side, that
mm.
had come through and said, "Right, you go." And I said, "Okay, I've got grandma. Will that be okay for you?" So again, if you see a reaction from one of your congregation and say, "Oh, they don't want to hear from that person," then we have to find a way around it and maybe get somebody from the family to come forward to speak, because the recipient doesn't want to hear from mum or
I
dad or brother.
I
It's not
had
very often I get
exactly the
them,
same
but
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly the same thing. I was working with a young lady who is a part of our congregation. So I'm not going to mention names. She's not on tonight, I don't think so. I'm not going to mention her name because it's not fair. And I was actually doing I was in her sister's house because her sister had a gentleman's energy in the house who wasn't part of the family and was disturbing little one. So the young lady was there, and I started to get the family coming through, and I started describing this gentleman, and she said, "Well, he can just bleep.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to him." And I said, "Right. All I will say is he's coming through with in a very gentle way. So I know he's coming as an act of contrition, and I'll leave it at that." And I cut the link because it was obviously going to be too painful for her to hear from him at that point in time. So I asked him to step away. It's awful for both because spirit are coming through for healing for the person earth side of life. But if they're not ready for it, you can't force it. But I have seen mediums who try to push it, and it's not fair.
No, it isn't fair.
If the earthbound person isn't ready to hear from that person, don't force it on them because it could do more harm than good. It really could.
If I see somebody that I've been giving a message to in tears, I always say to them, "Would you like me to stop?"
Yeah.
Because that way you're giving them the respect of saying, "Well, look, I can ask them to leave you and I can stop." But I nearly always get a no, because a lot of the time it's happy tears because they're so happy to hear from their loved one.
Yeah.
The other thing that I will say is, if you go to a spiritualist church or centre and you're wanting a reading, don't just think about one person coming through. Just think about the whole family, friends, or whatever, and you're more likely to get a message that way. But spirit will only give us the messages for the people that need them. It might not be your night tonight, but it could be your night tomorrow night.
But sorry, Irene, just to
It's
add
all right.
to that, what I would say is always listen to somebody else's message, because if something resonates with the deepest part of you,
yeah, absolutely,
that part of the message is obviously meant to resonate with you as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say was I completely agree, because a medium that we all know was working at a local church, and she said, "Tony, I've got to come to you, sweetheart. I've got this lady," described the conditions she had during her life and her passing. And I thought, what? It was my ex-wife's mum.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't help it, Irene. Out of my mouth came, "What the bloody hell does she want?" And
but you do, because you were surprised.
Yeah. But the medium said, "Oh, do you want me to break the link?" And I said, No. If she wants to come through, I'm prepared to listen.
Yeah.
But I'm just really surprised that she would choose to come to me. And she came with something that was quite personal and meant a lot. And I said, "Thank you very much for your time, sweetheart. I understand why you've come.
Yeah.
And thank you for what you've done," because, like I said, it was an olive branch.
Yeah.
For me, from her, which meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
But I was ready for that.
Yeah.
Now, there are people in the world of spirit that, I don't know, I was going to say that I wouldn't, but yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the world of spirit, actually. If a spirit person comes to me, they've come for a reason. Whether I understand that reason or not, they've come to me for a reason. A lot of people can't do that. So I completely understand why somebody would say that person did X, Y, and Z in their life, and I can't forgive that.
Yes, absolutely.
You see,
Can I just
go on? Yes.
I was just going to say, sorry, Tony. Amanda Hurst has just put on, a lot of churches, I feel, go to the same people over and over again. It's not the churches, Amanda. It's the medium. And again, with churches having different mediums on every week. When we go to a church, we don't know who has had a message the week before and who hasn't. But I do, but also, again, no names mentioned, but also Jean, Tony, and I know some certain mediums that will only go to people that they know. It's not fair and it's not right, but it's the way they work and it's the way they do
Right.
things. But
Yeah.
we always say, Jean, Tony, and I always say, if you're having a private reading with one of us or all three of us, we always say wait at least 6 months before you come back to have another one, because your psychic changes about every 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Tony?
But yeah, I completely agree with what you've said. And I do know mediums that will go out and stand in the cigarette area with the congregation prior to a service.
And listen
Jean,
to what's
Irene,
been
and
said.
I sit in the church
Yeah.
because I don't always go into the medium's room or whatever. I'll stand in the church, but I will deliberately not engage in conversation with people. So if you see us at a church and we don't speak to you beforehand, it's not that we're being rude. It's just that we don't
No.
want that throwing at us.
No.
Oh, well, you heard us talking about that.
Yeah.
No, we won't do it. But there are people that will, and it's not fair. And like you say, they go to the same people. If they go to the same people and give them different evidence, different. But I've seen mediums that will go
Yeah.
to the same person and give them the same thing. And you think, oh, come on, you're doing me a disservice now. And actually, we
Yeah.
stopped going to a particular church because we were there about once a month for about 8 months. And we started to think, now I'm not sure if what I'm giving you has come from spirit now, or if it's just that I know that because we've been here all the time.
Yes.
So we said,
and it's
book us
harder.
in about 6 months. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Dad. We have been on quite a long time. It's nearly an hour and a half. But and I'm sorry that you've got visitors. You know what I'm saying? And
sometimes I wonder
I
if
know.
because I'm developing.
No, that's not really.
No, Gail. That's not the way it works, sweetheart. No, it's. I will talk to you, but it's a bit of a difficult one.
No, you should still get the same. You still have the same chance of getting a message in a church as anybody else.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. I must admit, though, it's not very often a medium gets the message, but and when we do, for me, it's more personal, and it's wonderful to have one. And sometimes I'll get a message for Tony or Jean. He'll get one for me. But it's always things that we don't know about each other, because even though we work together, we don't really talk about personal stuff, except like how's Michael, how's Stuart, how's Ed, you know, and just general things, but nothing personal.
That's the other reason you won't see me engaging a lot on Facebook as well, Amanda, for that reason. I don't engage a lot on Facebook because I don't want that thrown at me. But I do know people who've done it, and that's wrong. That's wrong. You shouldn't do it. It's not true mediumship, and I believe it should be called out. Just me personally.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tony, wholeheartedly. And we know that Jean doesn't go on Facebook very rarely.
No.
Only if she's got a message from somebody. So, you know, because it's one thing that we could, you know.
Yeah, I'll skim through it on my timeline, maybe once or twice a day. But it's just to see if my family is up to anything, or you know. And actually, I should start a personal page for that and have my mediumship page just for this. But Yeah, that goes back to what I call lazy mediumship, and
Yeah,
it's not true from spirit. And if what I was going to say is, if I'm in a church and I get a link for somebody I know I've read for before, I say to the spirit world, give me something I don't know.
yeah,
Give me something I don't know about that person. Like if I'm going to Irene or Jean and I know I've got Irene's mother in law, and I'll say, well, yes, I've worked with you before, so would you please give me something I've not told Irene yet?
yeah.
And she does. She
She
does,
does.
unless it's something where she's saying, but she didn't listen to me last time, so I've got to repeat myself. And that, good night, my
Yeah.
darling.
Good night,
Pop over
Shane.
and I'll do your
Good night,
nails.
sweetheart.
I do that with Lynn. I do, Paul. I'll say to her, please tell me something I've not given him. And she does, bless her, after she's criticised my nails, which she does a lot.
The thing is, Lisa, when you get somebody like that, she's probably got that info. You see, I know that Tony doesn't, and I know that Jean doesn't. I don't put a lot on about myself. Yes, I've got on that
No.
I'm married to Ed, and that I've got 2 grown-up children and grandchildren. But anything else, anything at all to do with my mediumship and the way I work, that is off limits. That's the way that I do it, and I prefer, like Tony and Jean, to work blind. I love to go, and this is why when we accept a booking for a church or a centre, we go sort of 6 months apart, because that way the psychic has changed and the auras have changed and everything's changed, and we can bring in something new
Well,
for the
yeah,
recipients.
because people's lives have moved on in 6 months.
Absolutely, they
And
have.
there's
Yeah,
different things happening, and situations that will have given them before have probably been resolved. So there's new things to bring in. And
yeah,
I, yeah, I think that's as far as I want to go with that, because, yeah, and just to
yes,
say that bad mediumship should be called out. I'm sorry. So if you see something like that happening, just say, give me something you don't know. If a medium
yeah,
comes through and gives you
yeah.
something and you think, yeah, but you read that on Facebook, say to them, give me something you don't know. Ask them about, you know, ask them for something else,
And
and
if they
and
can't give
push
you
it.
that something else, and they can't give you that evidence, then I'm not saying they're not that they're not mediums, but they're
Either
not.
having a really bad day, which we all do. We all have a
Yes,
bad day. I won't criticize people if I sit and I see them and it's the first time I've seen them work and it's not quite there. I'll
yeah,
think, oh, bless them, they're obviously having a bad day. Second time I see it, I think, hang on a minute, you know.
yeah,
And if it's somewhere like Thurcroft Centre,
yeah,
that will be opening very shortly with Jean, if a medium comes and isn't quite on par, we'll say, give them one more chance.
yeah.
If it happens again, then you think, actually, should we cross them off the booking list, because, you know, that it's obviously the wrong place for them to work.
The other side of that is that if we have a fledgling, like, we always give
Oh,
people that are learning a chance. So if we have a fledgling, uh, and I think once we get started at Thurcroft, we're going to have a Sunday night that we're just going to get 2 or 3 people that we know that are up and coming mediums, that we know that can work, and we'll put them on with one of us at the side of them. They don't go up on their own. It's
no,
either I'm there, Tony's there, or Jean's there, just in case they have a little tumble and fall a little bit and they don't get things quite right. And we can say, right, okay, if you're stuck, let me step in, because we all get links with each other. So when you get something like that, it's a learning curve for the fledgling. and we're there to support them until they're ready to go out on their own and do it by themselves, because they can't be a fledgling all their life. But as Jean often says, we are getting older and we need new people to come up and start doing this. Otherwise, and we teach the old ways. We don't do this online course for 4 weeks and you're a medium. We do things that we give you a thorough grounding in every aspect of mediumship and the tools that you can use and how you can use them. Photographs. Jean does sands reading and water readings. And we all do photos. Tony and I do psychometry. We all have gifts that perhaps one of us haven't got. So if, like, I was called to ask Tony's expertise for his rainbow project for a young man. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't help you, but I know somebody who can, because it's not my area of expertise. But this is, and I love doing this, and I love working with Jean and Tony and Michael as well when he's around. And you know, it's just great when we get together. Well, you know, guys, you've seen his work. We're as mad as hatters, but we love you all. You probably do, Lisa Jane. You probably do need to join a circle if you are trying to learn. The only thing I can say to you is, please do not try and do it on your own, because you could get into all sorts of pain and trouble if you're not careful, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay. So just make sure that you go to a good circle and that you learn your craft as best you can.
Yes. And what I would say is, if anybody on here is a developing medium and you want to join us up on screen, absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. We're more than happy for somebody to come on screen. And we did it with Eddie before. We've done it with a couple of people. So yes, please drop me a message and say, I'm ready, I'm developing, and I would like to go. Come up and we'll have a chat and see where you go. We would never set anybody up to fail. We wouldn't.
No, absolutely not. And where is your church going? I mean, my son lives in Chesterfield, Lisa Jane. We're at Thurcroft when we start. But there's also I know there's I've just been to Darley last night. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to Clay Cross, and we do Brimington as well, depending on which part of Chesterfield that you're in. So you know, and there's also Mansfield has got 2 spiritualist churches that I go to as well, if you can drive. And it's, but like you said, like Tony said, if you want to come on with us, and if you are developing, Lisa Jane, and you feel confident to come on with us, we can arrange that, can't we, Tony? Come on and have a go. It doesn't matter if you don't get it right. And Suzanne, if you want us to explain how we do things, like with you, we need for sands and wateries in flowers. We can do that as well. I work a lot with ribbons as well. And of course, as you know, I work with crystals and stuff like that. So, but yes, we're all willing to help you and help you develop if that's what you want.
Of course,
you know,
of course. And even if you just want to understand a bit more about the religion of spiritualism, we can do that as well. We can spend one night where we just talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I know Brian. Yeah. It would make a good evening to learn about those things. It would.
Yes, it would.
So
we'll wait till our Jean comes back. We'll wait till our Jean is back with us, and we'll maybe do it, because I'm away next week for 2 weeks. I'll try and get on, but if not, I'll just I'll see you when I get back. But perhaps when I get back, we can have an evening and do like this, an hour and a half, and anything that you want to know, like Tony says, the religion or how we do things. Well, we love sharing our gifts, Heidi. That's why, because if we weren't here to share the gifts that we have, how are people going to learn? It's like a doctor
Exactly.
and a nurse, but not so in depth.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of learning. But I'm happy to share my experiences, and I know
Yeah,
that Tony and Jean are as well.
absolutely. And Paul, I am much larger than a medium these days, darling. He
Kim, I
said, what
used to
about?
live in London many years ago. I used to live in London,
Yeah.
and I've got Tony Stockwell is a good friend of mine, bless him.
Yeah, Tony's
So
funny. But
yes,
anyway, we'll wrap it up because we've been
yes,
on nearly an hour and 40 minutes.
wow.
Welcome to all of the people who are new. It's not always a talking shop like this,
No, it
but
isn't.
every now and again, Spirit just decide that this is what they want us to do. So, yeah, we just end up talking and Spirit direct the traffic, so to speak.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
thank you so much for spending your time with us. Thank you for engaging with us. Thank you for your questions and your comments.
Yeah.
We will be back on Friday. We've
If you would
got,
like to join us,
if you would like to join us, yes, I'm just looking through the calendar
I'm
to
glad
see
that
where
you.
everybody is.
Well, I'm at
Irene's in Morley
Morley.
tomorrow.
That's Leeds.
It is. And Friday evening we will be back. Wednesday and Thursday there will be online services with the other New Christian Spiritualist Society churches in Bridlington and in Littleport.
I I am doing an online on Thursday for Simply Spirit, I think it's called, and that's in Cumbrawn. I'm doing it on Zoom. I'm not literally going, but also I should be in Barnsley, Pitt Street on Wednesday, but they haven't contacted me to confirm.
Okay.
So I'm not
Um,
sure if that one's still
I
on or
will
not.
be in John Street on Sunday in Hull.
Oh, I
So if
did that last
anybody's
week.
in the surrounding, it's beautiful.
It is. It's a lovely little
It's a
church.
beautiful church. So if anybody's in Hull, pop over to John Street and I'll be there. It's a lovely church, very welcoming, very warm. You'll enjoy it. So that's our week. Like Jean mentioned, the church, the centre will be opening in Thurcroft.
Yep.
There was a group
10th of
there,
October. 10th of October.
but this is different. That one's gone. This is a completely new group that has
Yep.
been set up. There will be Jean, Pat, Irene, myself, Michael, all involved when we can be. So please, if you're in our area, South Yorkshire, you will be more than welcome to join us there in person. I will be dressed in my civvy clothes, not in these clothes, but there we are.
I will have more information on you as Jean and I sort it out
Yep.
about how it's going to work and that, because obviously, because of Jean's cancer condition, we have to keep her safe.
Yes.
So we're going to sort out some things and that. Then we're going to have a raffle, and the first opening night, I believe I'm going to be doing the door, and I believe you and Jean are on platform, Tony.
I think so.
On the
I think that's
first
the
night.
plan.
I was going to go up, but Jean's asked me to look after the doors and keep everybody safe, so I don't mind doing that. And we're hoping to have a really, really good night. And we would love you all to come along if you are able. And it's going to be lovely. And it's going to be
Claire,
brilliant.
that won't be online, but the
No,
weeks
they won't allow it.
I'll maybe be doing alternate weeks. So I might be at Thurcroft one week and then I'll do an online the next week, just to keep the online presence going, because we can't just cut this off. There's still got to be the online presence. That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah,
So that's how
absolutely.
I will do it from my side. And then we'll still be doing the Monday and the Friday services online all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
unless we're booked somewhere, then we'll rearrange and rejig. The
Yeah.
reason we've not had services for the last couple of weeks is I've not been well myself. Irene's
I've been
had
out.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
Jean's had family issues that she's had to deal
Yeah.
with, so we've needed to step back a little bit. But we're
But we
here.
haven't forgotten you, and we never will do.
No. I was saying this the other day about
Yeah.
I could never stop this online presence. So,
No,
but
absolutely
anyway,
not.
thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
been an absolute joy to share this time with you.
Yeah.
Please support the online services when you see them. And yeah, we will do the closing prayer and the night song now because Jean asked me to do it for us, so I shall do that. If you would like to close in prayer, Irene, and I will limber up my vocal cords.
I will, darling. I just want to say, Gail, if you need to get into contact with me, sweetheart, just ask Stace for my thing, and we can have a chat, or we can have a chat with Tony and Jean as well, darling. Okay. Can we all bow our heads in prayer, please? Dear Lord, Divine Father, thank you for the wonderful words this evening over the internet. Thank you for our guides and our helpers to coming in and join us and helping us to sort out the questions. Could I please ask for healing to go around the world, Lord? You know where it's needed most. And could I ask healing for our animal kingdom and for our wonderful Mother Earth? For all those in transition, could we ask that they are met by their family and friends to be taken home to spirit? And could I ask for a guardian angel to be with each and every one until we meet again? Amen.
Amen. Lord, keep us safe this night, secure from all our fears. May angels guard us while we sleep, till morning light appears. Amen.
Amen. Good night, everybody. God bless.
God bless you all till we meet again. Keep safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.